Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Israel insists on achieving all of its objectives in the war against the Islamist Hamas terror organization. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi stresses that from Tehran's perspective, the principle of enrichment is non-negotiable. U.S. Special Envoy and Chief Nuclear Negotiator Steve Witkoff stresses that as part of any final arrangement, Iran must stop and eliminate its nuclear enrichment and weaponization program. Israel insists on achieving all of its objectives in the war against the Islamist Hamas and its commitment to retrieve all of the 59 hostages who have endured Hamas captivity for the past 558 days since the atrocities of October 7th, 2023. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, alongside Defense Minister Israel Katz and IDF commanders, visited the northern Gaza Strip yesterday, during the course of which they received a comprehensive situational assessment as the IDF is deepening its operational activities against terror elements throughout the enclave.
אני פה עם שר הביטחון, עם מפקדי צה"ל והלוחמים שלנו, הסדיר והמילואימניקים המופלאים. הם עושים פה עבודה נהדרת ברצועת עזה, הם מכים באויב, והחמאס יספוג עוד ועוד מכות. אנחנו עומדים על כך שהוא ישחרר את חטופינו, ואנחנו עומדים על השגת כל יעדי המלחמה שלנו. ועושים את זה בזכות הלוחמים הגיבורים שלנו. פשוט עושים עבודה מופלאה. אני רוצה להגיד לכם על מה אנחנו נלחמים ולמה אנחנו נלחמים. זה פוסט שהוציא הרודן של איראן, האייתולה חמינאי היום, ובו הוא מסביר מדוע ישראל חייבת להיות מושמדת. הוא עושה את זה בזמן המשא ומתן עם האמריקנים. אנחנו נלחמים על הקיום שלנו, אנחנו נלחמים על העתיד שלנו.
Defense Minister Israel Katz, for his part, seized the opportunity to underscore that the current tactical approach to the Gaza Strip is rooted in lessons learned from October 7th of 2023 to date.
אני נמצא פה ביחד עם ראש הממשלה, עם מפקדי וחיילי צה"ל, שעושים עבודה מדהימה. המוצב הזה שאנחנו נמצאים עליו, הוא חולש על עזה, מכה בראשי המחבלים, פוגע בתשתיות הטרור, ובאותו זמן מגן על היישובים הישראליים. זו הדרך שאנחנו עושים, וזה הלקחים שלנו. לעולם לא נאפשר לאויב מהסוג הזה לאיים על היישובים שלנו ועל האזרחים שלנו, ולכן המבצע שמתקיים כעת הוא לוחץ את החמאס על מנת קודם כל לשחרר את החטופים, וככל שהוא יתמיד בסרבנות שלו, נלך ונעצים את המכות שהוא יספוג עד להכרעתו והחזרת כל החטופים.
It is important to highlight the 12 Egyptian-mediated efforts to reach an acceptable ceasefire that would include the release of less than half of the hostages within 45 days. The Islamist Hamas is evidently signaling its intention to refuse the proposed arrangement. Meanwhile, U.S. State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce stressed that the United States remains committed to resolve the situation in the Gaza Strip.
There is a constant, regular commitment to Gaza, to the Gazan people, certainly to one of our strongest, if not most stalwart ally, Israel, who have, by the way, a new ambassador from the United States, Ambassador Mike Huckabee. So we're very excited about the future. We are working constantly to have a ceasefire and to change the trajectory on the ground. That has not stopped.
Meanwhile, at the White House, Press Secretary Catherine Leavitt revealed that President Donald Trump held a conversation with the Sultan of Oman, Haitham bin Tariq Al-Said, during the course of which the American leader thanked the Sultan for hosting the first Iraq meeting between the United States and Iran. Moreover, Leavitt further highlighted the Trump administration's proactive efforts to further ratchet up economic pressure on the Islamic Republic, while underscoring Washington's resolve to make Iran's proxy, Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe in Yemen, pay a heavy price for its continued attacks against freedom of navigation in the strategic Strait of Bab el-Mandeb and adjacent waterways.
The maximum pressure campaign on Iran continues, but as you know, the president has made it clear he wants to see dialogue and discussion with Iran while making his directive about Iran never being able to obtain a nuclear weapon quite clear. And the president spoke to the Sultan of Oman today, who helped facilitate these talks. I have a readout for all of you. He held a call with the Sultan of Oman today, and he thanked him for hosting the first direct meeting between the United States and Iran and emphasized the need for Iran to end its nuclear program through negotiations. The two leaders also discussed the United States' ongoing operations against the Houthis and emphasized that the Houthis will pay a severe price until they end their attacks on maritime traffic in the Red Sea. As you know, an additional negotiation between Steve Witkoff and Iran's representative has been scheduled for Saturday. And since these are ongoing negotiations, I have nothing more to add on that.
Meanwhile, in Tehran, the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, sought to play down prospects of success for the resumption of diplomacy between his regime and the United States of America.
به این گفتگوها هم نه به صورت افراطی خوشبین باشیم نه به صورت افراطی بدبین باشیم. اینا بالاخره یه کاریست، یه حرکتیست، تصمیم گیری شده داره اجرا میشه و در این قدم های اول هم خوب حرکت شده، خوب اجرا شده. بعد از این هم بایستی کاملا با دقت دنبال بشه. خطوط قرمز مشخصه، برای طرف مقابل هم مشخصه، برای ما هم مشخصه. دنبال بشه مذاکرات به شکل خوب. ممکنه به نتیجه برسه، ممکنه نرسه. نه خیلی خوشبینیم نه خیلی بدبینیم. به طرف مقابل البته خیلی بدبینیم، طرف مقابل رو قبول نداریم، میشناسیم طرف مقابل، اما به توانایی خودمون خوشبین هستیم. میدونیم که ما خیلی کارا میتونیم انجام بدیم، شیوه های خوبی بلد هستیم. این هست.
Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi highlighted that mixed messages emanating out of Washington over the United States' red lines have confused Tehran's leadership.
مذاکرات روز شنبه خب ادامه جلسه قبل خواهد بود. جلسه قبل همونطور که گفته شد جلسه سازنده و رو به جلوی بود. البته ما در فاصله جلسه قبل تا این جلسه مواضع مختلفی رو از طرف مقامات آمریکایی شنیدیم، بعضاً مواضع متضادی رو، و این اصلاً به نظر من کمک کننده به روند مناسب مذاکراتی نخواهد بود. اگر که با مواضع سازنده‌ای بیایند، من امیدوار هستم که ما مذاکره در خصوص چارچوب یک توافق محتمل رو بتونیم شروع بکنیم. اگر که نه همچنان با مواضع متناقض و متضاد باشه، خب کار مشکل.
Tehran's top diplomat, who also leads the Iranian negotiating team, went on to highlight that from the Islamic Republic's perspective, uranium enrichment is non-negotiable.
اونچه که مسلمه غنیسازی ایران یک امر واقعی پذیرفته شده و حقیقی هست و ما برای اعتمادسازی نسبت به نگرانی‌های احتمالی آمادگی داریم، ولی اصل موضوع غنیسازی قابل مذاکره است.
Despite the Iranian foreign minister's voiced determination about Iran's uranium enrichment program, U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff published a statement in which he wrote, quote, "A deal with Iran will only be completed if it is a Trump deal. Any arrangement must set a framework for peace, stability, and prosperity in the Middle East, meaning that Iran must stop and eliminate its nuclear enrichment and weaponization program. It is imperative for the world that we create a tough, fair deal that will endure, and that is what President Trump has asked me to do." Meanwhile, in Yemen, the U.S. military Central Command released footage from its aircraft carriers in the Red Sea, marking that operations against the Iranian proxy Ansar Allah continue 24/7. Separately, reports about a possible Saudi-led ground invasion to complement the American aerial and naval offensive against the Houthis have circulated in recent days.
I think many people have seen the reports regarding actions that may or may not be happening on the ground in Yemen as the Houthis' ability to resist is degraded. That's not something I can remark on. Of course, though, when we think about the the nexus of the nature of what's happening in the Middle East, the United States has made its point clear, as the Secretary and through the President, through the ceasefire work and the nonstop efforts regarding the issues in Israel and on the Gaza Strip, and certainly now in the remarkable fact that Iran is at the table regarding their condition, which has also been affected, of course, by the degrading of Hezbollah, certainly the disaster that Hamas has brought that region, including Iran. So when we think about the ceasefire and making people's lives better, it certainly affects the entire region. And I think that's what we can all count on.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to once again wish you a Chag Pesach Sameach and a blessed Easter, and thank all of TV7's family of supporters. TV7 Israel is a donation-based ministry with all of our programs made possible by the generosity of our viewers. Therefore, if you're blessed by the content of our programs, please consider becoming a monthly TV7 Israel supporter. You can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen wishing you an Erev Mevorach. We will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.